It's your destiny to greatness with Dr. C and Brothers Keeper. Today, Somerset County educator Jessica Chaplin, plus a performance from Catrice Whittington, all next on Your Destiny to Greatness. And now, here are Dr. C and Brothers Keeper.
Good afternoon, Brothers Keeper. How are you?
I'm excited as usual.
You know, I am too. And this is just wonderful. Wonderful to be here with you today. And it's wonderful that we have this very, very special guest.
Yes.
I was concerned that we were even going to get her here
Yes.
today, but it's just a blessing.
Everything worked out.
It did. It worked
worked
out.
out.
And our topic today, uncomfortable with self.
Mm-hmm.
Many times people don't want to admit that they're uncomfortable with self. But from time to time, we've all been in this particular situation.
Yes.
Have you?
Oh, most definitely. I'm often uncomfortable in my skin. I'm pretty sure it's not part of my day at some point that I'm reminded by something or someone that I'm not as comfortable in my skin as I think I am. But I'm making some progress.
And you know, many people would not believe that because Brothers Keeper, you know, the one who encourages, the one who, you know, has a smile, a laugh, and a joke, uncomfortable with self? Nah, no way.
A lot of times, that is a way for me to be able to understand what's going on with me by encouraging someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, while I'm encouraging them, I'm also encouraging myself. Even they don't know what's going on. At that time, you could be talking to somebody and thinking all at once. So as you speaking it out into the atmosphere, it's also working itself into your ears.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Kind of reminds me, you know, for a while, many people, they were, you know, singing it, and some people were actually dancing to that song. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
Because there are times when we can walk around, you know, even if our head is up, and we can be down on the inside because we are not comfortable with the skin that we're in.
Yes.
But we're going to get a little bit more into this situation, even me, because I'm telling you, there are times, and most times in my particular life, I have not shared much of anything, and people looking like, oh, well, you know, she has it all, or she might think she know it all, and that's not the case, but, you know, just haven't been comfortable with letting people in.
Yes.
But when we introduce our special guest today, Miss Jessica Chaplin, and she's a very, very beautiful and special girl, then we're going to all just share just a little bit more about being uncomfortable with self. Doesn't mean that we're uncomfortable people.
Yes.
Doesn't mean
Yes.
that, you know, we're not nice, but it does mean that we can share a little bit about ourselves to be able to help somebody else.
Yes.
So when we come back from this little break, we're going to bring out our guest, and then we're going to get a little bit more comfortable
Yes.
with this uncomfortable situation. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Lord, you brought me from a mighty long way, and you made me who I am today.
Well, we are back with Miss Jessica Chaplin, and of course, Brothers Keeper. I'm Dr. C. So, we're here comfortably together,
Yeah.
but we're going to talk a little bit about being uncomfortable with self. So, Miss Jess, you're looking beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. I will take that coming from you.
Well,
Gorgeous
good.
as always.
Thank you, thank you. I know there's been a time or two that you've felt a little bit uncomfortable. Can you just share just something or some instance or circumstance when you felt a little bit uncomfortable?
Sure. Well, I think we all experience a feeling of being uncomfortable within ourselves, whether it's a physical imperfection or emotional insecurity or social situations that we encounter. And I've definitely experienced that. You know, I've got my physical flaws, you know, and in my
Yes.
mind, that's all everybody sees. And,
know.
you know, I think we've all kind of experienced that. And the way to overcome that, I think, is the key, learning to accept yourself. So once you've accepted those physical imperfections, you don't really need the approval of other people. So that alleviates the fear of judgment. And a lot of times I think you will get uncomfortable when you're fearing that other people aren't accepting you. So once you've accepted that, you don't so much need the approval of other people, and it kind of alleviates that. But what I've noticed is a deeper level is when you're uncomfortable within yourself.
Yes.
So when you have not yet learned to accept those things, you become uncomfortable within yourself, and that brings on a new level of experience through life, you know.
Well, that's true. Well, I'm hearing, you know, a couple of things. For one, you're talking about the physical, because that's on the outside.
Right.
And so that's that physical piece, because, you know, we're worried about what other people are seeing.
Right.
And that's big, and we just might as well face it. People are mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they will talk about and they will
That's it.
magnify those things, and we have to deal with
That's it.
all of those. So then you also said, you know, we have to accept.
Yeah, well,
So
and sometimes we can be more mean to ourselves
Yes.
than other people can be.
Yes.
And so that's kind of the key right there, is learning to be kind to yourself, so that when those mean people aren't so kind to you, it doesn't affect you in such a deep level.
And
you
that's
know?
hard.
Yeah, it really is.
That's hard.
Yeah.
You know, especially when I know for me, you know, starting, and I can still remember it, 7th grade.
Right.
You know, the acne. Oh
Right.
my gosh. I
Right.
mean, when your face is messed up, and
Yeah.
that's the first thing that people
Yep.
see,
Yep.
and then you're talking about accepting. How you going to accept it? And then people, and then all the different names that,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to
Well,
call
that's
you.
so hits home to me, especially when you talk about the first thing people see. You know, I was not blessed with a beautiful smile like some people. You know, I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be 32 this week, and I still have baby teeth. You know, and so you have to learn to accept those
Yeah.
physical things about yourself in order to not become broken so much that you're uncomfortable within yourself. Because the world notices things and they say things, and you know, we are teachers by
Yes.
profession, so we deal with some really harsh, you know, kids that can say anything. And so, you know, it's all about learning to accept those things that bothered you way back then.
Right.
So as you enter into womanhood or manhood, you know, you can go through life facing the uncomfortable situations without being uncomfortable within yourself.
Yes. And before, I was gonna say, before we get to that particular point, I know that you experienced.
Yes, and a lot of times those uncomfortable feelings that we have when we're younger, we drag them
That's it.
on to
Oh, we
our
do.
adulthood.
Yes, we do.
I mean, as for me, I went through the same thing with the acne. But on top of the acne, as being an African American male, being around the darker skinned people with a lighter skin and light colored
Right.
eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked around.
Well, and it's funny you say that, because now what was the first thing I said to you
Yes.
today? You have beautiful eyes. You know?
So the females were said with one aspect,
Right.
but the males, they put a negative spin on it.
Right, exactly.
And you have this cloud over you,
Right.
and not understanding, well, what's wrong with me? You
Exactly.
look at yourself in
Yeah.
the mirror so much, you don't notice.
That's
No.
it.
The other
That's it.
people see
But
it.
in your mind, that's all anybody sees.
Yeah,
You know?
and then you kind of feel uncomfortable that you kind of want to, like, it's just a smart person will come around people who are not so smart. They coin the phrase, they dumb themselves down.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah.
you'll find yourself trying not to magnify anything
right,
that looks
yeah.
good on you, because you think somebody will deem you as trying to, who he think he is, and
Yeah,
he's trying
I
to belittle
definitely have
us,
experienced
and
that.
you're just trying to be yourself.
Yeah.
And then we start, you know, going inside.
Exactly.
Inside, and
Right.
then, you know, things that, you know, we could do, all the gifts that we do have,
That's
you
it.
know, we you know,
Compartmentalized.
exactly,
That's right.
you know, we take down. Even, you know, in the church. You know, that happens.
Yes.
Because I remember, you know, being asked, you know, to do certain things. I remember even the first time that, you know, I was asked to, you know, deliver and give a, you know, a
Right.
message. I don't know if I was asked because I was expected to fail, but then when I didn't, and then I was even, you know, asked to, you know, write, you know, a play or all these different things. But there was a time when, you know, I started saying, well, you know, I'm not going to do. And I started to, you know, I shut up. And then it was only, it was just God, that made the difference and said, well, no, don't shut up.
Yeah.
I gave these things to
That's
you.
it.
It's from
Yeah,
me.
there has to become a point where you give yourself permission to step into your potential and become the person that God made you to be.
Exactly.
And until you
Yes.
do that, you're always going to be uncomfortable within yourself.
Yes.
I had to learn that I'm the only one that can do me.
That's right.
No one else can do me.
That's
Yes.
right.
So once I stopped looking at everybody else and started looking at what my potential was, as you said, and start expanding on my things that I could do better than anybody else that I knew, and I just started to just exploit all the things that I could do and then just push it out there, and whatever the other person thought about it,
That's right.
it didn't even matter anymore.
right.
It was all about me then. Once I start to adore myself, things start to get a little easier. I might not be all the way there yet,
That's right.
but I'm a lot further than I used to be.
Yeah. Well, when you accept yourself, you don't need the approval of other people,
Nope.
and there's freedom in
Well,
that.
This is beautiful. And this is what I've heard, that whether male, female, we've all experienced
Yes.
instances where we've been uncomfortable with self. But what is important is that even throughout the struggle, we have to learn to become comfortable with self. And God is always there for us. And there's someone that is experiencing it just like we are, but we just have to continue to reach for that inner
Yes.
strength
Yes.
that lies within us. So, my friend and my friend, let's continue to struggle together and be able to help somebody else, because we do not have to remain uncomfortable with self. There is a comfort within us.
Yes, well spoken.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying season 1 of the show. For more information about the show or to be a guest, check out Your Destiny to Greatness show on Facebook.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking about being uncomfortable with self and how to get comfortable with yourself. Well, we have a very beautiful artist who's going to be singing Open My Heart by Yolanda Adams. What I want you to do is just to open your heart and welcome the singer, Miss Catrice Whittington.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Alone in a room, it's just me and you. I feel so lost because I don't know what to do. Now what if I choose the wrong thing to do? I'm so afraid of disappointing you. So I need to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my world feels so cloudy, and guide me until I'm sure I open up my heart. My hopes and dreams are fading fast. I'm all burned out, and I don't think my strength is gonna last. So I'm crying out, I'm crying out to you, Lord. I know you're the only one who is talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today. Oh, when my world feels so cloudy, Lord, guide me until I'm sure I open up my heart. Oh yeah. So show me how to do things your way. Don't let me make the same mistakes over and over again. Your will be done, and I'll be the one to make sure that it's carried out. And in me, I don't want any doubt. That's why I want to talk to you. Yes, I do. And ask you for your guidance, especially today. Oh, when my world seems so cloudy, Lord, guide me until I'm sure I open up my heart. Oh, all I need to do is hear a single word from you, Lord. Oh, and I open up my heart. Just one word can make the difference in what I do, Lord. Guide me until I'm sure I open my heart. Won't you just say one word, one word, one word, one word, one word. I open up my heart to you, to you. You're the lover of my soul, the captain of my sea. I need a word from you. That's why I open up my heart.
Have wealth and beauty. Have wealth and beauty.
This is Sister Danielle, and here's a help tip I have for you. For if you have a problem with your hair and your nails growing, I promise you, a gallon of water a day, you won't need extensions, you won't need any of these things. All you will need is to consume a gallon of water a day. If you can't take it all at one time, do 4 8-ounce glasses at each time. Do some in the beginning of the day and some in the end of the day. But water will change your life. And if you look in the Word, you'll find a lot of times where water sanctifies, water changes. But God gives us everything we need in the Bible to stay healthy. We can't take parts and not take the thing as a whole. We must eat the whole loaf as a body of Christ.
It's just me thinking again. Have you ever thought about what your gift is? How about just explore what your gift may be and express yourself? Take that gift and maybe you can help someone out. Just as this gentleman, he expressed himself through threads. We have gifts of speech, we have gifts of song, poems. You never know. If you express your gift to a stranger, that might just be what he needs. So if you don't know what it is, seek some assistance from God and see what your gift may be. It's just me thinking again. We are destined for greatness.
All too often, we spend too much time looking at others and trying to fit into someone else's mold, when God has a specific plan for our lives. It doesn't always, often, almost never look exactly like anyone else's. We just have to be confident in who we are in Christ and what it is that He's called us to do, even if it looks a lot different from someone else or the majority of the group. Embrace who you are, enjoy the journey, and be an example of others who dare to be different in Jesus. Dream, innovate, initiate, create, and take action. No, you can't please everyone, but you can be pleasing unto the Lord while you're fulfilling your destiny to greatness. So go ahead and walk in your destiny.
We are destined for greatness.